Jai Hind. My name is Anju Joon. I am the faculty assistant professor of Information Technology in Akgec Engineering College. Today we will study about the data analytics subject, and here we will cover the introduction to the data analytics. So let's start. So the first we will go for the table of the content. So these are our table of contents, that is introduction to the data analytics. First we will cover this, then we will discuss about the sources and the nature of the data, and then there will be the classification of the data, and in the last we will go for the characteristics of the data. So let's start with the introduction of the data. First, we will understand what is data. Data is the collection of raw facts, like here we can see 10, 20, Noida, there is a roll number or a mail ID. That is about a student or anything about that is we are using. But using this raw data or data, we are converting it into a information. Suppose we are making a register of the facts that we will collect all the number of the roll number of the student and their name. Then it will convert into the information that for a particular class there are the number of students, they are having a roll number and their name, a unique identification, and that is giving us information about the student of a particular class. Same as we can take another example regarding the Mount Everest. Suppose I am giving you a fact that the Mount Everest height is 1000 kilometer. Suppose that is just a data about the height of the Mount Everest. But when I am giving you the data, more data about the Mount Everest, like what is the height, what is the name, and along with it what is the geographical structure of the Mount Everest and each and every aspect of the Mount Everest, then I am giving you the information that you are getting to know about the Mount Everest, not a particular attribute but about the whole Mount Everest. Then it is the information which is giving you insight about Mount Everest. Next, we will go for the data analytics. Now, what is data analytics? Data analytics is the part 2. Data means there will be some random facts or information. But when we are doing the analysis, means we are taking the insight into the data to extract a particular information. Suppose there is a business is going on, okay, and I want to know, okay, since last 5 years how much the business grows, and then I want to know what extra I need to do so that it will do better. Then what I will do, I will collect the data of that particular organization, and then I will try to find out the pattern that, okay, this year this much sale, this year this much sale, and this year this much sale. And on basis of that, I am just seeing a pattern. Now, I am extracting the information about the customer, what kind of the customer they are dealing, what kind of customer giving them hype in the business, and what kind of the customer are, reducing the sales of the company, organizations. So, what I will do, I will collect the data and I will try to extract the information, the cause for those particular customer who are retreating to purchase the particular product from this organization. So I will go and try to find out the information and I will give it to the organization, that particular information, so they can rectify that particular problem and they can again grow their business. So basically data is the collection of the data, facts, raw facts about that particular organization, and analysis means extracting the information or doing the insight for a particular thing, so that we are giving them the solution to increase the sales for that organization. So data analytics is the science of analyzing raw fact to make the conclusion about that information. And apart from that also, data analysis help a business to optimize its performance. Means, suppose I'm running a business and I want to grow this year. I want into 2025, I want to increase my revenue, and as we know the generation is changing, so I will just hire a data analytics and I will say them, please tell me what I need to do so that I can increase my revenue for this particular year. So they will analyze the data, and they will find out the factors which I need to change in my organization so that my performance will be better, and it will maximize the profit. If I'm using that information, I know, okay, this is the particular project. Suppose my company is making a blue ball pen, a blue ball pen. And what is happening for this particular blue ball pen, and I'm making many more, suppose red, pink, green, and so many things. So what will happen, the data analytics will go and do collect the data about each and everything, and they will tell us we need to change this one, this blue pen, because we are getting that the users are not liking the flow of the pen. Suppose I'm taking very minimalist example, that it is not they are not liking the blue pen because the flow of the pen is very abrupt. They are not able to write it in a continuation flow, and they are just not liking the shape of the pen. So these are the outputs I am getting, and they will say that is why they are going good, but this one is not going good, and we are getting feedback that it need to change in the shape or the flow or nib of the pen. So they will give me the insight, and it will tell me what is the problem with this particular product, and I will change it. As I'm changing the product, obviously then the user will like it, and if the user is like it, then my sales will increase, and as my sale is increased, I will make the profit. So it will maximize the profit. Or another thing is make more strategically guided decision. Just let me clear it up. The strategically guided decision means, as I'm in the market, I'm not the only one organization who is making blue pen. There are many companies there are outside in the market, they are doing. So I need to do the market analysis also to do something different, where anything, it can be anything, okay, and then I will find out a strategy to make my product different from them, because to stay in the market, I need to be competitive. Competitive means I need to work with the demand. So I need to supply what the current market is demanding. If the user is demanding, I need this blue pen, but this blue pen should be of thin shape or a thick shape, the nib of the shape, what kind of demand they are asking for. For that particular, I need to make the strategies to stay in the market. So data analysis also help us to make the strategical guided decisions so that I can be competitive with our other competitors in the market. Now we will talk about the sources and the nature of the data. What are the sources? Sources is basically from where I am extracting the data, from where I am getting the data, and what kind of method I will use to get the data. So different sources of the data for data analysis is basically data collection. Means I am collecting the data from the different sources. Obviously I cannot rely on one source, that I cannot rely on a particular kind of the generation. Okay, there are the young people 18 to 20 I will consider. Obviously if I am doing that, I cannot stay in the market. I need to go for a vast type of the generations. Okay, so data collection is basically the process of acquiring the data, then collecting and extracting and storing also. Means I need to use the different sources to acquire, means initial step. Okay, that I am taking the from there are 10 users or 10 type of the people, I'm just taking any data. Okay, give me the data about my company or something. There is a store data, and obviously what I will do, then I will collect, means first I will select the sources, what are the sources will be there, and then I will start to collect it. Okay, now I will collect the information particularly I need for my own product. Means the first acquiring is that, okay, I am collecting from anything, give me anything, I'll take it, and then I will collect it. Means the blue pen, I took the example of for a particular thing, that is a blue pen. So for that particular thing, I will use the information which is regarding this blue pen only, and then I will start extracting the information. Means my stakeholder is telling me I am facing a problem with this particular blue pen, let me know what is the reason. So now keeping in mind, okay, that is the problem, I need to extract the information regarding to that only, and and it should be effective. Effective means that regarding to blue, and what are the factors which is affecting the sale of the blue pen. And then after extracting, obviously when I'm extracting the information, I need to store it also. If I'm not storing it, suppose I have collected something, I learned something about, and I'm not storing it, so it means it is in my mind only, and as the time we lose our memory also, sometimes we cannot keep everything in our mind also, there is a filtration also, and my perception, everything will affect that filtration. So I will lose the data ultimately. So that I won't lose the data and I can share it with other member of my team also, I need to store it to so that other data analyst or other member of the organization can use it for their particular product or for their organization benefits. जो ये डेटा है, इट मे बी स्ट्रक्चर्ड और अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड, विच वी विल स्टडी फर्दर. ये किसी भी फॉर्म में हो सकता है. इट कुड बी टेक्स्ट, इट कुड बी वीडियो, इट कुड बी ऑडियो. हमारी XML फाइल्स हो सकती हैं, हमारे रिकॉर्ड्स हो सकते हैं, जो हमारा क्या है बेसिकली, जो हमारा यूज होगा फॉर द डेटा एनालिसिस. फर्स्ट वी नीड टू take the data from the different sources, हम उसे store करेंगे, and then the team of the data analyst will do the analyzing, will extract the information for the particular problem we are facing within our organization. अब in this process data collection जो होगा, means I can say for the step of the data analysis, the first part will be the data collection. Data collection is the initial step. हम इससे पहले कि किसी भी प्रोडक्ट की प्रॉब्लम के रिगार्डिंग जो हमें एनालाइज करनी है फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम, लाइक ब्लू पेन की सेल ज़्यादा क्यों नहीं हो रही है, उससे पहले मुझे ये तो डेटा कलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. व्हाट इज ब्लू पेन एंड हाउ ये कैसे बन रहा है, एंड देन what kind of the user are using in the market, what are the process of the distribution, and what kind of the dealers are there who are selling our pen. These kind of the data I need to collect. So first thing is, whatever the problem is, regarding that problem I need to collect the data. So first initial point step will be data collection, जो कि बाद में क्या होगा, which is to be analyzed must be collected from different valid sources. As I told you, it should not be from the one source. If we are considering only one source, we are narrowing down our approach, and narrow approach अगर हम रखेंगे for the data analysis, we cannot come with the effective solution. Now, as I told you, we have learned about what is data and what is information. There is third term also come, that is knowledge. So data which is collecting, known as the raw data, which is not useful now, but on cleaning the impure and utilizing the data for further analysis, form information. This is what we learned. Now the information is obtained is knowledge. How? I am telling you that knowledge is what? I have converted, means Mount Everest, I have taken that the height of the Mount Everest is 1000 kilometer. That is our data only. But I am just writing down a book, and that book contains the geographical structure also, and what will be the height, what will be the width, what is basically a Himalaya, what are the factors, and everything about the Mount Everest. That is my information. But what happens when I'm reading that book? I'm collecting, or I'm making something in my mind, and if I have read that book and somebody came to me and asking me about what is Mount Everest, then I'm not reading that book and reading out that book to him. I will explain it to him, and that information what I observed and I am explaining that is the part of the knowledge. What I observed in my mind, or according to that, I am able to explain that, and I am using that information to explain something about the Mount Everest is called knowledge. So knowledge has many meaning, like business knowledge, sales of the enterprise product, है ना, disease treatment. Obviously a doctor, when he is going to treat a patient, then he is using knowledge which he gained by doing the practice he did in his career and the book he read. Okay, so that all information he absorbed in himself by reading those medical books, जब वो अपने यानी स्टडी कर रहा था, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट द प्रैक्टिस ही डज, द प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ही डज, वो सब जो है दैट इज हिज नॉलेज दैट ही इज ट्रीटिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर पेशेंट. वो अपने नॉलेज के बेसिस पे करता है. ऐसा तो नहीं होता दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डॉक्टर एंड ही इज रीडिंग अ बुक एंड देन ही इज गिविंग अ प्रिस्क्रिप्शन. नो, ही इज यूजिंग हिज knowledge. The process data, basically the main goal of the data collection is collecting the information rich data. Information rich data means, if suppose means I'm asking you about the Mount Everest, the information you are giving me which is related to Mount Everest, if I'm asking you, okay, what kind of the climate is near to the Mount Everest if I'm going to visit that, and you start telling me about something else, the near area, wahan pe to aisa hai, but you are not telling me about the Mount Everest, then this information is not rich for me. It is a poor data, because I don't want that. I want information regarding the Mount Everest. Okay, so data collection, basically it starts, suppose you are calling me for your organization, it starts with asking some questions, such as if you are calling me as a data analyst and you are telling me the problem, I want to know what is the problem with my blue pen, as I am taking the example, what is the problem with my blue pen product that it is not making that much sale in the market. From that point, I will start asking you the question about the blue pen. Okay, what is the blue pen? Basically, tell me about the product. Then you will start telling me, okay, हमने इस time पे ये शुरू किया, and then this is the blue pen, and we started in the market. हमारा उस time पे ये revenue था, and then this happened. So those are the, I'm collecting the data from you. Even though you are calling me, I am the data analyst. The point we started our conversation, I have been started collecting the data from that particular point. Okay, तो वो मेरा क्या है, start तभी से हो जाता है, the point we started our conversation. Now we will talk about what are the different sources. First, there are we will divide the sources in two parts. First, we will divide it in the qualitative and quantitative. First classification will be this. Then we will divide it into primary data and secondary data, and further primary data will be divided into certain part and secondary data into certain part. I'll take an example to explain you what is qualitative data and what is quantitative data. Basically, qualitative data is a group of non-numerical data. or quantitative is basically the numerical form, okay, and can be calculated using different scientific tools. I'll take an example of a temperature. If I'm telling you, okay, we are in a medical area and I'm telling you, go and check the temperature of a person. So you are coming back and telling me, okay, his body temperature is hot, or his body is cool, or so it comes under the qualitative. Means it is not a group of numerical, it is non-numerical. That is basically focus on the behavior and the actions. Basically the body temperature is, if I am taking, okay, tell me the temperature of the body, and his uski body garam hai, he is hot, his body is hot, or okay, you say, I'll just come to the conclusion, his body is hot means he is having fever. So that is also a data, right? But if we'll talk about the quantitative, okay, I'm telling you, go and check the temperature of the person, and you are going and using the thermometer, and then you are coming back and you are telling me his body temperature is 101, means he is having fever. Usko 101 बुखार है, he is having fever, he is having 101 temperature, means he is having fever. So that is also our data. So these are the two types of the data. Qualitative means that is the non-numerical data, and quantitative is that is the numerical form of the data. Further we will divide, that will be our primary and secondary. First is the qualitative and the quantitative, what will be means type of the, and second type is the primary and the secondary. When we talk about the primary data, so primary data is like, I'll just take an example of the color. We know we are having the primary colors, okay, and using primary color, there are 3 primary colors, and using those colors we can drive secondary colors, right? Same thing is here. Primary data is we are taking directly from the source, okay, and the secondary data is we are driving using the primary data, okay. So primary data we will interact with the target audience. So we are doing the survey, we are doing the interview, and second one is the secondary data, and that is also divided into 2 parts. That will be the internal means within an organization, and when we are going for the external means we are going for external sources like the government agency, like we are going for the information for a particular government website, which is not suppose I'm in a college but I want to collect data from AKTU, so I'm going to the AKTU website, and from that website I'm collecting the data, okay. We will study this further. So primary data, which is raw, original and extracted directly from the official source. As I told you, like the primary colors, they are the basic base colors, and using those base colors we can drive the secondary colors. Same thing. These are the primary data, means we are collecting it directly from the source. So directly from the official source is called the primary data. Now this type of data basically we are collecting from the sources using questionnaires, we are doing the interview, or we are doing the survey, but we are doing it directly with the person, with the audience, okay. And the data collected must be according to the demand or the requirement. Means as I'm taking that, okay, the organization want to ask about the blue pen, okay, so I will ask him about the blue pen. Okay, why you don't like the blue pen? Okay, why you like the part? Which part you are liking and which part you are not liking? Okay, it should be related to the problem. If it is not related to the problems, the data I am collecting is not rich information. As we have discussed the terminology previously, it is not rich information. It will be a poor information collection. Okay. Now in an interview method, what happens in the interview? It is basically the process. We are doing the interview with the target audience, Okay, suppose data is collecting during this process through the interviewing the target audience by a person. I am the employer and the employee I want to hire for a particular thing, so I am taking the interview. I will ask the particular questions. Suppose I am taking the example of the interview. Okay, so my organization want to hire this particular employee. Okay, I will ask the question regarding my organization is dealing with. If I want a person to hire for a particular platform like Azure, so I will ask the question related to Azure. Obviously, I will not ask him about the Java, whether do you know the Java or not. I have a project on which I want you to work, so I will ask you whether do you have any experience for that, or either you can work on that. I will judge your experience or your knowledge for that particular project. So the person who answers the interview is called the interview, and the person who is asking the question will be the interviewer. Now, some basic business and product related questions are asked and we are noting down. Okay, so I'm asking, like I'm taking the example of the blue pen, I will ask him. So the person, I will take the audience in front of me and I will ask some questions regarding the blue pen. Okay, do you like its structure? So you will give me yes or no, or in the form of the theoretical form, means there will be a paragraph kind of, but I will note it down because I need to note down your all answer, because I need to make a report also, so that I can share it with my other member also. So I will note it in the form of the either the notes, or suppose there is a recorder, I'm using this recorder, I'll say okay, whatever conversation we are having, I'm recording that. So that is also I'm recording so that I can use it later on to extract the information, or it can be in the form of the video, that there is a camera, whatever we are doing the conversation, that is being recorded, and I'll use it, me or my team will use it to extract the information. What is the basically problem with the blue pen, so that we can extract the insight of the problem, that okay, this is the basically problem and we need to do this. And this thing also can be structured and unstructured, like the person interview can be formal through the telephone or face to face. If I'm doing through the telephone, obviously I'm recording it, okay, in the form of the audio, and after that I can use it, right, to extract the information. Another method is survey method. Survey method is basically a process of the research where a list of the relevant questions are asked, and the user will answer in the form of the text, audio or video. So there will be the questionnaires, and I will just distribute to the people, and means kind of the research I am making, the question paper or the questionnaires, and I am just giving it to them, and they are just ticking, okay, that is the answer, that is the problem or something. And it can be also through the audio, video. And survey method can be done online or offline. Suppose I am calling a group of the people, I am distributing the paper, that is the offline. Or I'm just sending you the email and I'm getting the revert back, that is the online form. So that is also part of the survey, that I'm collecting the data by asking few questions using offline or the online. So examples are online survey like social media. On the YouTube, we already have done that on YouTube, that whenever we are playing a video, there comes a survey, and that for that particular survey they are asking some question. If we want, we will submit the answer. If we don't want, we skip the survey. They are collecting the data. That is the part of the survey, online survey. So if you want to be a part of that survey, you want to give the information for that particular thing, you will do the survey, otherwise you will skip it. Next is the observation method. Observation method is basically collecting the which the researcher keenly observe the behavior and practices of the target audience. So what happens that there will be a group of the people, and I am observing what kind of problem they are. Suppose I am just giving them paper and I am giving them that blue pen and they are working with that, and I am observing what kind of the problem they are facing while working that particular blue pen. That comes under the observation I'm taking the note of, okay, they are facing this problem, the blue pen is not working, the nib is not properly working, the flow of the ink is not proper, the structure is making them uncomfortable, their hand is not एक proper flow में नहीं जा रहा है, and these kind of the things I am observing, I am noting down on basis of my observations. Experimental method is basically the process of collecting through the performing the experiments. Okay, I just did a little bit change, and now I'm giving it. Now I'll check the output. Then I'll do the other change, and then I will give it to a particular group of the people. Then I'm checking what is the output. So that is the experiment base, that I'm making the changes, and then I'm giving it to the target audience, and I'm checking what is the output, and on basis of that output I will say, okay, this experiment is successful or unsuccessful, and connecting the data. Next will be the secondary data. Secondary data will be divided in two parts, that will be the internal or external. Basically, internal source is what I am working in a organization, and organization call me for a particular, like the pen. So for the blue pen, the company call me. So what I will do, I will access the data that organization is already having with them. Okay, so that is the internal data. Obviously, it is not like that they are making the blue pen and they don't have any information. Obviously, they have information about their product and they are selling. They will have the information. Okay, kya sale thi last 5 years mein, kya sale thi? Okay, it is declining. They are also doing some kind of the analysis, na? So that I am extracting from that particular organization, that is called internal source. Okay, I am extracting the data from the internal source. Now I am not communicating with the target audience, I am collecting from that particular organization. But when I am not collecting it from that particular organization but going to a third party, suppose going to a third party, तब वो हमारा क्या कहलाएगा, एक्सटर्नल सोर्स. ओके, ठीक है, थर्ड पार्टी से है ना हमने बात किया है. सपोज जैसे मैंने आपको कहा कि है ना, आई एम वर्किंग इन अ कॉलेज एंड आई एम वांट टू कलेक्ट द डेटा जो AKTU की वेबसाइट पे होगा. सो आई एम गोइंग टू अ थर्ड पार्टी टू कलेक्ट द डेटा जो कि मेरे ही एनालिसिस फॉर माई पर्टिकुलर माई ओन सब्जेक्ट आई विल यूज, लेकिन आई एम कलेक्टिंग इट फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्सिटी वेबसाइट, फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट. वो हमारा क्या कहलाता है, थर्ड पार्टी source कहलाता है. So this is our secondary data. These are the examples. Social media and networks जो हमारा external होगा, that I am collecting from the, ठीक है, मेरे blue pen का है, what they are talking on the social media, what is happening, I will do the analysis using the third party. Organization, for the particular organization I am doing the data analysis but using the third party. Scientific, collecting all sort of the data from the scientific instruments, या फिर mobile devices, tracking all the object all the times, या फिर हम sensor या technologies. These are the third party sources, or we can say the external sources. So this was all about the sources of the data. So these were the different sources of the data, primary and secondary. In the primary, we have talked about survey and interview, and secondary, internal, means we are collecting data from within the organization, or external is we are using the third party social media platform or some kind of the government website or any other website I am using to extract the information regarding that particular product to make the insight what is the problem and what could be the solution. So it is about all introduction of the data analytics. Today we have covered.